Hi, I'm Jess. I'm the designer illustrator behind Escalou. This week I wanted to talk about how I design custom logos for small businesses. Here are a few examples of logos that I've created for previous clients, and I designed these logos in the exact same process that I'm going to show you in this video. You could say that my design style is rather informal. It's quite cute and sweet, feminine, and I also hand draw all my logo designs because I like that natural, authentic feel. I think it suits a small business nicely. I start the design process by writing down the design brief, which in my case are the answers to the logo design questionnaire that I provide for my client beforehand. The descriptive words that my clients use are very necessary for me to grasp what they would like their new logo design to be. I use Pinterest to get a general idea of what kind of designs are already out there and get some inspiration from them and what I think I like, what I think my client likes. The first design that I worked on took a lot longer than I would normally spend on a logo design. This is because I was determined to try to bring my client's little sketch to life. And I was trying really hard to get the 3D proportions. I even brought out my own sewing machine so that I could sketch it from my desk. But I found that because the sewing machine was three-dimensional, I was having trouble finding a cat that matched the style. In the end, I settled on a more realistic stylization of a cat's head behind the sewing machine, and it looks like he's really busy concentrating. The other two designs came quite naturally because I could come back to working with a flat design. When I start to design concepts, I already have an idea of what it is that I want to make. I try to narrow it down to 3 ideas. And it's my intention that these 3 concepts are to be refined and finalized so that I can present them in my logo options presentation. Sometimes a concept doesn't turn out how I had in my head, and I just go back to another idea that I had, or go back to the drawing board and think up something completely different. I utilize Procreate's selection features, and I'm able to squish parts of the logo to make it a nice, neat proportion for a logo that can work in a social media context such as Facebook profile picture or Instagram icon, or if my client wants to use it on printed material like tags. When I'm completely satisfied with the sketches, I move on to line art. I often use the default inking brush in Procreate. It's called Tinderbox. I really like the smooth, fluid action of this brush, and it still gives this hand-drawn feel. When I'm doing the line art, I try to do it with confident strokes. I'm not trying to make it exactly as my sketch, but instead try to draw what feels natural to me at the time. But I tend to stick to the sketch when it comes to smaller details such as the eyes and the nose. With the line art completed, I can move them into Adobe Illustrator. I can do this on the iPad with the Illustrator app, or I can do this on my computer. I paste a screenshot of my designs and click the Vectorize button. I often have to fiddle around with the settings until I find something that works. Usually I bring the threshold down so that the line is not so thick, but I often keep the path up quite high because this retains the accuracy of my hand-drawn brushstrokes, which is something I like to emphasize. Unfortunately, it's not as simple as that, and often the delicate features or details of the design don't vectorize quite so neatly, so I just use the pen tool to fix those up. I also use the erase tool to sometimes fix a line that seems too thick. Zooming out helps a lot to pinpoint areas of a design that doesn't seem quite right due to the vectorization. I buy all my fonts on Creative Market, and I keep coming back to specific font options that match my style. In this case, I stuck to script fonts. I think it's really nice to match the font with the business title, so now the fonts kind of look like a loose thread in themselves. My client already provided me with her color preference, so now I'm just adding some extra colors to complete the palette. In some places the line work needs to be cut so that the colors can be added separately. Finally, I edit the designs individually and make sure they're all aligned. And here's the final result. Which design would you choose? My client was really drawn to this one, but in the end she also decided to go for the other two options, and therefore she could own all three designs. Congratulations on your new logos! Thanks for watching!